Nigel, talk us through today's developments with regard to the Bradford Bulls.
Superleague Europe, the company that owns and controls the Superleague competition, have submitted a bid to the administrator to take Bradford Bulls out of administration, and we're awaiting a response from the administrator to that offer.
Where did this plan, this rescue package or idea come from?
Well, I think there's been a growing disquiet with the events at Bradford over the course of the past 4 or 5 weeks. Clearly, every act of insolvency or administration is one act too many as far as the wider sport is concerned, and the lack of stability at the club, lurching on a weekly basis from one cash crisis to another, and the absence of an acceptable offer being delivered to the administration has caused the Super League clubs and the RFL collectively to decide a more decisive course of action, which is to intervene with an offer of our own.
And they've been in administration for 5 weeks now, the Bulls. A couple of offers to the RFL have been rejected, if you like. Where does that buy the Bradford Bulls a window of time to keep going and maybe plan for a few weeks' time, a few months' time? How long do they get?
Well, we're certainly in the market for providing some stability to the club. I think it's a very regrettable situation. We have a lot of players and coaches and volunteers that are operating out of the club on a daily basis without any security or certainty, and we felt the need to intervene was acute, and that's why we've done that. I think we've always said that we will see the club through to the end of the season, and between now and then we'll be looking at the options that are available to the club.
And the Super League clubs and Super League chairman, they threw their weight behind this package, this idea to take the Bulls forward.
The Super League clubs were very, very supportive of the concept. They think it's exactly the right thing to do. They hold the reputation of their competition very dear indeed, and there was an increasing concern that it was being sullied somewhat by the administration that Bradford was subjected to, and they've been roundly supportive of this intervention.
And of course, people tend to forget the players in all of this. But, have they been kept fully informed as to what's been going on here today? And I guess it'll be welcomed by them.
Well, we have staff with the players as we speak, but of course our offer hasn't been accepted yet, so we haven't got to be, if you like, presumptuous. But we've got a duty anyway to the players, but not just the players, the coaching staff, Mick Potter and his colleagues, and the off-field staff that weren't made redundant, and indeed those that have come back as volunteers. I think that it was a situation that required decisive intervention, and we're delighted that we're in a position to do that.
I guess it's the kind of thing you can't really put a time frame on as to how long the Super League will support the Bulls, but it was needed, wasn't it? It was kind of an 11th hour rescue.
Well, there's a distinct possibility. You only have to read the trade papers and every other paper that the administrator was concerned that this might mean the liquidation of Bradford Bulls, and I think that the family of Rugby League needed to demonstrate a positive response to that challenge, and that's what we've done today.
And I guess the search for a buyer, a new owner or group of owners goes on, and people, I guess, are urged to approach the RFL now as a first point of contact for purchasing the club.
Well, that's subject to the administrator finding our offer acceptable. But yes, this is assumed to be a short-term hold by Super League Europe, not something that you would expect to go on indefinitely, and would certainly be interested in talking to anybody who wants to invest in professional rugby league in Bradford.
And just talk us through the previous offers that were knocked back. What was the hurdles or the stumbling blocks that brought those down?
Well, when a rugby league club is in administration and new potential owners come forward, the only real condition that is acceptable is that, of course, they are readmitted into the family that is the RFL. It's the membership of the RFL that is of value, and they're not in any position to demand any prescriptive rights to play in either the Super League competition. And in respect of Bradford, one of the consortium were insisting on an option to buy back Odsal on commercial terms that the RFL board were unattracted by. So those were the complications, and we've been repeatedly urging interested parties to come forward with what we would call an unconditional bid. None has been received, so the clubs have intervened and the RFL has intervened.
So the purchase of Bradford Bulls under the administrator never came close, really?
Well, we haven't received an offer, and we're not aware of an offer that came that matched the terms of an unconditional offer just to purchase the Rugby League club in Bradford. So no due diligence was done, and actually no business plan has been received that we could consider.
And when do we find out whether the bid from Superleague has been successful? What's the time frame on that?
Well, we're hoping the administrator can come back to us pretty quickly. I think it's in everybody's interest to provide some certainty now to supporters, but also to the employees and the volunteers. He'll work to his own timescale, but hopefully that won't be too long.